Hey there, and if you watched my videos last week, you know that I dropped a few collection videos, some pretty long ones. This one here is not nearly as long because I don't have as nearly many titles to talk about. I am still looking up for doing basically an MGM collection video and a Anchor Bay collection video and kind of a Blue Underground collection video. So there's a nice few collections coming up, and let me know if there's any others that you guys want to see. So if you watch my last one, it's right there. It's Scream Factory Collection Part 2. I broke that one into two parts because I noticed that one of my videos ran about an hour and 40 minutes long. So for a much shorter one, by the way, I did remember the name of the actor that, well, not the actor, but the character that was in Mad Max. It's on the cover. It's Goose. I think I did look this up a while back. It's Beasley. Beasley that played him? I'm not quite sure. I think it's Beasley. Jim Goose was the character. So if you look at the Mad Max poster, that's on the that's the most prevalent one, and you see the guy with the helmet. That's not actually Mad Max. It's actually the character of Officer Jim Goose. And with that little tidbit of knowledge, when I come back, we're gonna look at my Twilight Time collection and my small collection of Drafthouse. And I'll be right back after this. Hey there, so there's going to be one really different thing about this video, and that is my better half that's usually over there off screen and chiming in with some of the more intelligent comments come on into my videos. She's off in the Canary Islands right now, and after that she's going to be going to Morocco, so she's gotten on a family trip, which is very, very cool. She hasn't seen her family in a couple years, and I'm just really, I miss her a lot. But I'm very excited and happy that she's getting to see her mom and her dad and her sisters and her whole family. And hopefully she gets some of her friends from school and stuff like that while she's there as well. And have a good time, relax, and come back all nice and relaxed. She deserves it. So, all that being said, I do have Smokey over there who is not eating all of her food today. So, I'm pretending that I'm not going to give her any more, but probably going to give her more right after this. Anyway, so we'll start with the smaller collection, which is the Drafthouse films. So I've only got 3 of those, and they're not all in like the horror type that you'd think I would have, because I like a lot of horror and sci-fi and stuff like that. So the first off was a documentary, and it's really worth checking out. I love documentaries, so you'll see like me have a lot of those. Maybe I'll do like a documentary list, like different stuff that I got in my collection. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. Because I can't tend to talk about stuff a lot. I do love those films. But I did grab this one up here, and it was first, I think this was maybe the second Drafthouse I got. And that is A Band Called Death. Before there was punk, there was A Band Called Death. And I was into punk music a lot when I was growing up. And I didn't know as much about this band. Actually, I didn't know anything about this band, really. Not that I knew for until I saw this, and it's actually an incredible documentary. So definitely worth checking out. I watched this a couple times. I don't want to give too much away when it comes to like documentaries. Like those things that kind of unfold on their own, and you don't want to, and you want people to be able to experience it. Like when you're watching Jodorowsky's Dune. You don't want people telling you too much about what's in the film. Things like that, you try to go into like without watching trailers and stuff. Try to go into fairly blind, so the whole this whole tale that was true is going to like kind of unravel itself in front of your eyes, and that's what this one does here with A Band Called Death. Fantastic film, and it is number 12. Oh, just so you know, they all have kind of like these kind of artsy-ish covers with them. So, and this is the one for Band Called Death. So you can see there's like a booklet there too. And just take that out for a second. Let me just put the Blu-ray back in. So you can see it's kind of like, I've never turned over to the artsier cover, but obviously that's an option there. Some great pictures, some great writing. Definitely worth checking out. And that one came with a digital copy. Next up is one that was given to me by Sammy, who has a channel, Felgar, and I think he does a gaming channel now. So yeah, a lot of people have done like other type of channels recently, but that's like the kind of the Let's Play stuff. I thought about doing some of that stuff, but I'm really not the best gamer in the world. Though I did have a blast this weekend. We played, and I'm not like the guy that comes in and plays like all these hardcore games all the time. I got an Xbox One back there. I got a Wii U, and when it came this weekend to playing stuff, my cousin came over, my daughter was over, and we just turned on like Mario Kart, and we just like started going through it. Had a blast. Like played for hours. Miss 45, really fantastic film. And again, it's number 16 on the on Drafthouse, and I love this. And there's some great features on this as well. This one has stuff that man, it's incredible. Finding out about the actress, some sad stuff. The old digital copies looks like. This one also had a now this is the more kind of like the. Now what I'm going to show you is what's known, like kind of the known art for this 45. So there it is right there. And although Miss 45 is kind of like a rape revenge tale, it is a lot tamer than others. Not that, it's still brutal in the way that it's done, but it was handled, Abel Ferreira handled it very, very well. And it was still like some harshness there, but he was still able to handle it with taste that I really appreciated. Again, a favorite of mine, and one that I've watched I don't know how many times, but if you're going to pick up Drafthouse films, this is one of the first ones I can actually I can recommend all the ones in this, but here we go. It's 45. Next up is a more newer one, so if you are watching my channel for a while, you've probably seen this one, or especially if you start now, and it's kind of in the theaters recently, a year or two ago. That is Cheap Thrills with Pat Healy, Sarah Paxton, Ethan Embry, and David Kushner. And you know what? I haven't watched it yet. I've seen all the trailers for this. I actually won a ticket to like a screening of this film when it came out in my area. But unfortunately, I was working and I had to pass on that. And I hear this is a fantastic film. So it's my type of film. It's kind of like different, and quirky, but honestly, do I know like exactly what this is about? No, I'm gonna watch this one actually this week. So then I'll be able to tell you more about Cheap Thrills. I know the basic premise behind the film, but I wouldn't be able to tell you like, okay, this is where it's going, or I don't know how this thing's gonna end, or it's gonna play more comedy or more horror. So you guys kind of know if you thought this was a good movie. Please don't put spoilers down below there. But if you thought Cheap Thrills was a good movie, just let me know. I picked it up for very, very cheap, and it is number 18 in the Drafthouse collection. So actually, that's it when it comes to my Drafthouse films collection. There's 3. Band Called Death, Miss 45, and Cheap Thrills. And if Cheap Thrills has the same type of quality of those other 2 films, and I'm sure it will, even in the special features and stuff like that, then fantastic stuff. And I love the alternate art, because it's not just like any alternate art, it's actually really, really well done, and I like that. So now for my Twilight Time collection. I have very few. Now here's the thing. Every Twilight Time in my collection has been something that has been gifted to me by a friend, because honestly, Twilight Time films are extremely expensive for me to buy here. Originally, you can only buy them from their own website, and that was fairly expensive. Now you can buy them from I think Screen Archives, SAE, and for me, that's still expensive. So for me to buy Twilight Time film here in Canada and get it shipped out, it's going to cost me over $50 for a Blu-ray. Uh, Even when you see them like for 30 or something, you got to remember that that has to be taken over to Canadian, and they put shipping on that. So you're looking at it can get up to $70 or more for one Blu-ray. So I have been very lucky to have some good friends that have gifted this stuff here to me, because I would not be able to have this stuff without it. And these Twilight Time films are some of my favorite films that I have in my collection. I got some great films in there and I'm just lucky that people were able to find them for me. So first up is The Blob, the Twilight Time, edition, limited edition series. So as you can see, they're still going through blue cases, and I love this movie, and I've watched this one several times since this one was given to me, and I really do love this film. It definitely stands up with, if not maybe slightly better. I'm not sure. I love both versions of The Blob, but it is on par with the original. It's just so well done and so well put together. Chuck Russell did this, of course, as they have like very small but interesting booklets in there as well. But it's a favorite film of mine. I think this one out of print. I don't keep up on the out of print stuff. I just like movies. If something's limited edition and it's kind of out of print, sometimes people let me know. And because for me, to be totally honest, it's not like I'm going to sell it anyway. This is my personal collection, and these films are things that I love and want to hold on to. But The Blob is one of my favorite. It is a fantastic film. Kevin Dillon, Johnny Smith, just an amazing cast in here. The characters are likable. The Blob is well done. I like the changes the way they updated it, and it's just a freaking fantastic film. I love The Blob. This one got remade by Jason Statham, and they're actually putting a sequel to the remake of it. But this is obviously the best version. And if you watch my channel, you're gonna get to learn some of the actors that I really dig. And one of those actors is Charles Bronson. I grew up on guys like Bronson and Burt Reynolds and guys like that. And Bronson was just badass. I mean, he was like older in a lot of these things, but he just had this kind of this quiet cool about him. It was something that I really appreciate. And this is him, and I think is it John Michael Vincent? Really? Yeah, he's like really young. He's a young John Michael Vincent. Again, this is a fantastic film. If you've seen the Jason Statham mechanic, you really owe it to yourself to see the original, real, actually really good mechanic. As you know, it's about Hitman. I do love this film. Now, just to let you know, because I don't have a lot here to show you, they have a few features on some of these. A lot of the early Twilight Time stuff didn't. But this has the isolated score and audio commentary with director Chuck Russell and horror authority Ryan Turek. And Friday Night Frights at the Cine Family. I haven't watched that one yet, but I have listened to commentary. This one here has the isolated score track and audio commentary with cinematographer Richard H. Klein, a film historian Nick Redmond, and trailer. Now, the reason you're going to see isolated scores on here is because the guy behind Twilight Time I think I froze up. I'm not quite sure. If it's going to come across in the video that froze up or not, but I feel like that froze up. Hopefully that comes through okay. But the guy that did Twilight Time worked in a music division, like doing soundtracks and all that stuff before. So he really pressed for the isolated scores on these films, and a lot of people, like when they get the Twilight Time version, they really want that isolated score. They really want to listen to the soundtrack. So next up was another one that I really love, and that is it's pretty cheesy, but I like that. John Carpenter's Vampires. I do dig this movie. I like James Woods a lot. But again, isolated score, audio commentary with John Carpenter, the making of John Carpenter's Vampires, an original theatrical trailer. This is kind of just a fun movie to put on. It was kind of an unusual choice, just like Twilight Time would try to go. Seemed to go like an upper echelon type, and then they put it like things like vampires. And I'll be honest, I don't think they actually know a lot about the genre stuff. No, I don't know the guys behind Twilight Time, so maybe they do. Maybe there's stuff, but from the interviews that I've seen, the podcasts that I've listened to, they seem to be like they'll take a film that's considered like a classic or something, kind of like Criterion would, and but the studio say you also have to take this, and you'll see that with the next one actually, and which really surprised them. But again, fantastic, great like little booklet there. I love the art on that. Kind of reminds me of the Hammer type stuff. Next one is another vampire film, and that is the 30th anniversary Fright Night. Oh, Fright Night. So, oh man, I was going to say the anniversary edition of the limited edition series. This was put out twice, but this time it was put out with this ton of features. And there are other editions of this, but this is the edition of Fright Night to have. It's got an isolated score, audio commentary with director Tom Holland, Chris Sarandon, Jonathan Stark, moderated by filmmaker Tim Sullivan. Got another audio commentary with Tom Holland, William Ragsdale, Stephen Jeffries, FX artist Randall Cook, moderated by journalist Jeremy Smith and filmmaker Tom Sullivan. For the first ever Fright Night reunion panels on here, Fear Fest 2. We got Shock to You Drop, presents choice cuts. There's like a ton of stuff on here. Vintage EPK kits. The actual Fright Night video. If you go through the Vintage EPK kit, you get to see and listen to the Fright Night video by the J. Giles Band. Fantastic song, by the way. And the cover and the art on this is again incredible. They put a lot of really great work into Fright Night. Fright Night is one of my favorite vampire films of all time, if not my favorite vampire film of all time. I know I love the Hammer stuff, I love that, but there's just something about it. I guess Chris Sarandon, when he was he just made Jerry Dandridge made such a fantastic vampire, and even his name is Jerry, and still he's a fantastic vampire. Of course, I was at the perfect age then to as a teenager to go in and see this movie, get kind of blown away. This would harken back to a lot of the earlier stuff, the Gothic stuff, and it got me like even more. My dad got me into a lot of the Hammer stuff and all that, but that like made me want to just go back and see even more of it. Next up is it's a very dark film, and it is Count Yorga Vampire. Now this one here I watched with my better half, and I really liked it a lot. She was like, she wasn't sure. It was like darker than she expected. I think she expected more of a cheesier, like kind of a Blackula type of thing to it, and it didn't have that. It was like a lot less cheesier than she expected, and it was much darker and in tone, and I really, really got into that. It had an unusual offsetting tone because this was supposed to be like a softcore film, and that was taken out of it when they actually got an actor, Robert Corey, on here, who wanted to make this like into a more serious and actual film without the whole softcore aspect to it. And you can tell that this was meant to be a softcore film if you know going in. If not, if you go in like not knowing that, and you're just gonna feel like there's something that's slightly off about the film, and you can't quit. You're enjoying the film, you don't know what it is, but you kind of feel like there's something missing, there's something out. You'll feel like it's either been like either like scenes are cut, or that the tone just doesn't go through totally. Now, Count Yorga, The Return of Count Yorga, came out afterwards, and by that time, of course, it wasn't meant to be a softcore film. This was a hit, and it was meant to be like a sequel to this, and it's very much in the similar tone, but with many of the same actors. But they got it down. They knew, okay, this is what we want to do. This is kind of the dark tone we're going for. They actually made it a little bit darker, even in the next one, and it worked. It worked for them. It actually changed the way that vampire films were done at that time. They were all done like in a Gothic type style. Hammer looked at the success of Count Yorga films, and that was one of the reasons that they would go on and they would like make Jack 8072 and stuff like that. So the film series, of which there's only two. The third one sort of is called Death Hunter, but it's not Death Master. But it's not really an official Count Yorga film. Great stuff there. I'll let you see the back of this one because it's really cool. Kind of dig it. It's a film that you wouldn't think like means like something. You think of it like more of like just an MGM, like a little MGM film or something, but it actually has a really serious, important place in horror movie history. And a lot of people forget that. They'll think of it, as the kind of like a more of a modern day vampire film, but they really kind of forget sometimes that this film here actually changed the way that vampire films were being done at that time. And it did, like, for the good or bad, it changed it. Hammer changed their game. I guess that was a fun little one. And I don't know if I want to call this one horror or science fiction. It had a bit of both in there. But Scream and Scream again. I love this cover. Vincent Price. Anything that has him in there at all, I like. We got Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing. Oh, man. It's a very fun film. Gotta show you. This one here, we got an isolated score, an editor commentary, David Duvall and Tim Sullivan, Justin Gothic, Gordon Hester at AIP, an interview with Uda Levka. I haven't watched the features on this one, so I've watched most of my, I think I watched all of my Twilight Times, yeah, except for one, actually, one I still got to watch, and I've been kind of waiting for my better half to watch it, but I think I may have to go ahead and watch it, because it's something I've been wanting to see for a while. But this one I have watched, and that's 10 to Midnight. Fantastic Bronson film. Now, I was asked recently on if there was a difference between the 10 to Midnight DVD and the Twilight Times edition of 10 to Midnight, since it had been one of their not as well regarded transfers that they did. Now, I do own the 10 to Midnight on DVD as well, the MGM one. And I have to say, there is a difference between the transfer. Is there like a huge difference or anything like that? 10 to Midnight is like was kind of a lower budget film, and it does what it does really well. So sorry about that. I'm back. The doorbell kind of rang, and basically it was somebody that was looking for the statue that's just up the road from me. It's a Pokemon Go hotspot. We can get like more Pokeballs and stuff like that. And there's some people that are really not fans of the game. And well, I got allergies and it's really hot, which means I kind of like hay fever and that. Well, so that's me. The whole thing's that they were looking for the Pokemon Go place, and it was just up the road, just across the road from me. I actually do like the game, but side note, maybe I'll talk about that in my after credits sequence. We'll see what I'm going to talk about. But again, 10 to Midnight is my favorite Bronson film. Is the quality better than the DVD? Yeah, the quality is better than the DVD. Is it like overwhelmingly, oh my God, this is an amazing, like breathtaking transfer? I couldn't believe it ever looked that way. Probably not, but I do think that this is the best that 10 Midnight is going to look. Now, it's some people find it's close to the DVD, and I get that. People have looked back and they've seen that. I just want the film, and I want this version of the film basically because honestly, I want the isolated score, I want the commentary. Just has some great stuff. And I'll be right back because Pokemon, apparently. So yes, if you're going to pick up 10 to Midnight, if you're going to pick up like any, like these Twilight Time, there's some great ones there. Friday Night's great one, I think that one's out of print. But if you have the bones to pick this one up, definitely do so. It is a great release. I wish you would put it more Bronson stuff. I wish that Twilight Time was a little bit cheaper. I was also asked about like a Twilight Time making it on the fact that they're limited editions, like that there's so many limited copies of it. And in this day and age, with the kind of collector mentality that's out there, that's really driving the physical media market right now. Of course, you've done like a brilliant job of like hooking onto the fact that let's print so many of these, and I do kind of believe that they half the reason they're doing it is because okay, this is what we can afford. We don't want to overextend ourselves. This is what we're going to sell. A lot of movies are actually more limited than you think, but we're actually telling you how many we're putting out. And some stuff like the Fright Night and others they'll do more. But that's when they are pretty solid on the fact that they're going to sell them. Do I hold that against them? I used to be totally honest with you. But the stuff that they put together that I've gotten, I have been impressed with pretty much everything that I've seen. I didn't get the Night of the Living Dead one. It was way out of print. Would I've gotten it? Knowing that it wasn't the best edition. Uh, no, I'm not. I'm a completist, but for something like that, that I know that supposedly didn't get the best transfer, was one of the ones that that they didn't do as well on. It depended on like what was on it. I've got the DVD edition of Tom Savini's Night of the Living Dead, and I bought it at Walmart for $5. It had a bunch of features on it. Quality was good. I found quality good anyway. But yeah, if I came across it for like really cheap, I definitely pick up the Night of the Living Dead from Twilight Time to add it to my collection. And but with me right now, and to be completely honest, one of the reasons I've been thinking about like, should I get a Patreon? Should I not get a Patreon? Should I just keep the way it is? And I decided that as of right now, I'm going to keep things going the way they are because, but things have been really like financially wise, things have been kind of tight. But I work my butt off to to get what I want. So that's what I do, and that's what you see on my channel is when I get back on. Well, I say back on my feet. It's not that like I'm financially destitute or anything like that right now. It's just that I'm getting things straightened away, things paid off. There's things that I want to do, and if I want to do them, then I take the crunch now. And so I missed out on a couple sales. I missed out on the Arrow sale. I missed out on the Criterion sale, and it trust me, it hit me a bit. Like I definitely felt it because you guys know I love Arrow, and I love my Criterion. So having to like back off and say no, I can't do that this time around was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow, but it was needed. You're like, okay, well, what's more important? Do I want to keep like go make sure that my family's okay and I'm eating and stuff like that. My better half's gone off to see her family for a month. My son's up in Ontario. My daughter's got a bunch of like camps that I wanted to get her into this year, and she's very excited with those. So life happens. Other things take precedent. That's the short story of it. So if you don't see me with much newer stuff on here, that's why. Every once in a while you can see me like getting stuff like maybe a flea market haul if I got like some extra change to go outside or something like that. But might be a little bit like tight on that stuff. That's why I can see more of these collection videos. That's why I can see more reviews on that. And if you really want to see some reviews on some films, just please let me know what you're interested in seeing, because I can do it. It may take me a bit, but I'll do it. And the last but not least, and I apologize for the little rant there, is Strange Invaders. This is the one I haven't watched yet. This is the one I'm actually very excited to see. Obviously, the score, audio commentary with director Michael Lachlan and writer William Condon. Great cast. We got Louise Fletcher in this one, Nancy Allen, Paula Matt, Michael Lerner. It's just Dan Scarwood. It's just a fantastic cast. I love these here, like kind of like sci-fi films. I don't remember this one very well. I really don't. So I've been waiting to see this one with my better half, but she's out of town for a month, and I've been waiting on it for a while because that's one that gifted to me a while back, and I was very excited to get this one. I'm actually very, very excited. And maybe tonight or tomorrow I'll sit down and watch it because I've been waiting, and I'll just go watch it again with her when she comes back. So right now, it is. The tea looks delicious, so it is time for me to roll that credit sequence because it is time for tea. Hey there. So remember when I said that every once in a while I'm gonna grab those couple things if I got like some change in me. So I went out and I paid the bills yesterday, and while I did, I had like was it $4 on me and in change that I wasn't gonna be using on groceries. Well, I probably should have, but I picked up two things anyway. So I picked up the Delta Edition Special 8 DVD set for One Step Beyond. So this has quite a few episodes, 33 of the series One Step Beyond. It's not the complete series. There's like 80 or something episodes in the complete series. This is one that came out before Twilight Zone. I liked the look of the set. Oh, they got like the thing in there too. And it was like was that Salvation Army? And the set was like brand new, and he had it there for like $2. So for that, definitely I was gonna pick it up. I've been looking at the set before. I wondered about like picture quality. I thought, for $2, definitely worth it. Also for $2 and brand new, not at Salvation Army, but at the actually at Sears. They have like a bunch of sets and stuff, and well, not really sets, like DVDs and that. And I saw this one here because I thought it was just a regular DVD first, but it was actually kind of a set. That is Dilbert, the complete series. So I missed out on the original release of that, and it's done like much like the Sony stuff is done. So you see like that, and it's actually 3 discs stacked on top of one another. But it was like $2. So 30 episodes of Dilbert for $2. It is missing the features, like the 20-minute featurette that was on the other release, but still $2 for like the complete series of Dilbert. Could not pass that up. Now my thoughts on other things. Pokemon Go, for instance. It tends to have like a devoted fan base, and there's people that just don't like it, and most of the time they don't like it because it's popular. And there's going to be people that don't like something because it's popular, or they just don't get it. They don't understand why some people that probably didn't even like Pokemon or didn't even like play it are getting into this. So this is where I fall on this. Well, I'm a fan of that stuff. I think it's fun, but I think the biggest thing for me is that I have some friends and some people at work that play the game, and one of the people was somebody that, and she put out that she's not like she has anxiety issues and doesn't talk a lot, but that like with a lot of people, I find her very friendly and very open, but and I was unaware, but she does have and I have dealt with anxiety issues myself in the past. So instead of like being inside and being sheltered, the game actually, she went out and played the game and spoke with people that she normally would have felt uncomfortable speaking with, but felt good because of the situation that it was in. And that's a fantastic thing. Obviously, watch where you're going. If you're playing Pokemon Go, don't go out in the middle of the road or anything like that. But that's something that should be common sense to do anyways. It's a game that's getting people out of their houses and getting people to hopefully speak with other people and talk. Our workplace actually started up a Yammer group. We deal with a lot of like Office 365 and that with where I work. And one of the things we have are like these Yammer groups that are put up there, and one of them is actually a Pokemon Go one. And Pokemon Go actually just became legit like out here in Canada today. And I got I have 9 or 10. Really. I had 10, but I had two of one, so traded in. But that makes it's fun. It's a fun game. It's not for everybody. If if it's not your thing, okay, that's okay. But just don't spread hate. Spread positivity on here. And I hope that I can do that for you guys right now. And spread a little bit of positivity. I'm going to probably do another collection video before I go to bed tonight. So did I put any hints towards what my collection video is going to be? No, and there's one reason. Only one reason why. Because until this minute, I don't think I was quite sure what I was going to do for my collection video. My next one. But now I've got a pretty good idea. So I'll see you guys soon. That tea still looks tempting, and it truly is. As always, thanks for staying for the After Credit Sequence. After Credit Sequence. Gotta get this English right. It's my only language. It's time for tea.